Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. Pat the Designer, John Jurkovic back in the building. Good kid, it's Packer Week.
It is Packer Week.
There's animosity in the streets.
Well,
cats are chasing dogs. The Bears are leading
usually
the NFC and the division.
Usually the hammer doesn't have a rivalry with the nail.
Yeah.
And because Green Bay has kicked the Bears' ass for such a long period of time, basically the last 30 years, they've been 30, let's go even more, 32 years. Yeah, 93 they went, Packers went 2-0, 94 they went 2-0, 95 they went 2-0 against the...
you were on some of those teams.
Yeah, against the Chicago Bears. So let's do that. Let's do it the last 32 years. The ass has been handed to the Chicago Bears. So it's great to see the Bears in a position where they're in first place here at 9-3. The Packers at 8-3-1. A game that means something. A Bears offensive line that's certainly getting after it. A Bears running game that's certainly getting after it. And you're going to go up there with confidence.
Yeah.
You've won 9 of your last 10. You're going to go up to confidence. And this is the first time I think the Packers are going to see something like this. So, you got to, like they did last week, you kind of got to beat them into some submission. Yeah. They did a good job against the Philadelphia defensive line. I think this is going to be equally as challenging. The benefit Green Bay gets is they saw it happen on film.
Yeah. They know what's coming.
And they can prepare themselves.
There's some adjustments that are going to happen.
They can prepare themselves, which is the little bit of an advantage the Green Bay Packers have. But I am sure the Chicago Bears are going to bring a formidable game plan in there. They're going to want to control the clock. They're going to want to limit the amount of touches and drives that are going to be available in this football game. I don't think you're going to see 15 drives apiece in this game. I think you're going to see it limited to about 10 and 10, and then you're going to have to be productive in the 10 drives that you get offensively. And if you could steal a couple via the turnover, that'd be fantastic.
Listen, you talk about advantages. That's what we're going to talk about here today. I've got 3 advantages I want to talk to you that I feel the Chicago Bears have coming into this game. We'll touch on that. And, of course, got to put a little would you rather in there. I know that's a little game. Would you rather have this?
Well, that's
or would you rather have that?
That's a game Sylvia and Waddle play.
Yeah, we're taking it today.
Would you
we're
rather?
Taking it today. It's a team game, right? It's an ESPN Chicago game.
Sure.
We're going to take it today. Don't worry about that. All that more today's episode of the Chicago Bears podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Today's episode brought to you by Underdog. Make picks, win money. Jurk, you want to tell us about Mitch Lyons?
Absolutely. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Mitch, win, grow and win retirement. That's what we want to do. That's what we're looking to do. MitchLyonsWealth.com. He played in the NFL, played for the Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. He's a guy that shoots some of the same dirt I did. He does a wonderful job. Go onto his website, get his book, Retirement of Steel, read it, figure out everything that you need to have before you retire. That way you can game plan for it.
Good man, good kid. Shout out to Mitch Lyons. Make sure to tap in with everything he's got going over there. All right, I got 3 advantages that I think the Chicago Bears bring into this game, Jurko, and it is based off of what we've seen, honestly, since the bye week, but it feels more real after what we watched in Philly. Number 1, I think, is the obvious one. This run game, to me, feels like it's a run game that no matter the scenario, people keep saying, oh, you're not going to be able to do this. Top 5 run defense up in Green Bay, or I think there's 6 now after what went down last Sunday. You're not going to be able to run the football the same way. Since the bye week, the Bears, and Carm gave this stat out yesterday on you guys' show, the Bears have averaged 180 yards a game running the football. Now, there's some pop-up games that make that number a little bit more inflated, but the Bears have been a pretty regularly dominant running team, and I think that speaks to an advantage over a team that has Micah Parsons on the other side.
All right. The problem I think Philadelphia had last week was they started to freelance and they started to play not within themselves. Mm-hmm. So guys, after they were victimized with the ball being run against them, guys tried to do too much. And in trying to do too much, they were doing very little. So they got out of what they usually do as a defense.
Right.
I don't think the Packers are going to get out of the norm of what they do. They're going to watch, and they're going to see Philadelphia's defensive line self-destruct. I don't think the Green Bay Packers are going to do that. I think the Green Bay Packers are going to play their heavy form of defense they like. They're not going to run out of anywhere, with their head cut off, hell-bent for election. I think they're going to play their solid defense. They like to play. They like to get in. They like to penetrate, get into a guy. And they don't over-penetrate. They don't get crazy. And then they stay the course. And they wait to see where the ball's going to commit to, and then they break off and they try to make a play on it. So these guys you might have to outflank. Mm-hmm. These guys you might have to go down, get around the perimeter, get guys caught up in the wash. But I don't know how much you're going to be able to go left and think you're going to be able to cut the ball
back in. Yeah.
I think if you go left, you're going to have to continue to go left.
Right.
If you go right, I think you're going to have to continue to go right. You might be able to get a gash here or there, but I think this team's going to be a little bit more disciplined than the Philadelphia Eagles were. Like I said, the Eagles, when things are going great, that defense is fantastic. Yeah. When things started to go sideways a little bit, I think everybody started to freelance. And then when everybody started to freelance, that became a problem
able to take
for them.
advantage of it.
So it'll be a little bit more difficult, but not impossible against the Green Bay Packers.
Do you think that this run game will travel up to Lambeau versus, like you said, a defense that may be a little bit more disciplined?
All run games travel. Passing games you got a concern with because of weather and things like that. Mm-hmm. But all run games travel. So I think they're going to travel. I just think the quality of the defense and the discipline of the defense is a little bit different than what we saw in Philadelphia.
Right.
And again, that only happened because of the success that the Bears had against Philadelphia. I think they kind of started to implode after that, and gap integrity and discipline went out the window by Philadelphia against the Chicago Bears. That's not going to happen, I believe, with the Green Bay Packers. Doesn't mean they're not going to be run on.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're not going to have success running against those guys. It just, I think they're a little better equipped now, being forewarned on what the Bears are doing. But I still think the Bears are going to find a way to be successful. But they might have to do it via the air a little bit too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a combination of the two. Quarterback's going to have to be a little bit better. He's going to complete near. I hope that he completes near about 65% of his balls. His receivers don't disappoint him. But I like the way the Bears play. I like the way they run the ball. They kind of hit you in the submission.
Yeah.
And really, their thing then doesn't really start until the second half, because you hit, you pound. It takes a while for the guy to say, you know what, this stinks.
I'm sick of getting hit.
Let me see if I can avoid this a little bit. Let me see if I can swim up over the top and not have to get my head pounded in here. So, but I think there's a chance for the Bears to be successful. It's going to be a close game.
100%.
They're going to be battling back and forth. One key interception, one key fumble, one key strip. Either way, might be the thing that sends it up over the top.
And that is my advantage number 2, good kid. You're doing a great job just leading me into these today. You are phenomenal right now.
I'm a pro.
Yeah, he's been doing this a while. My second advantage I feel the Bears have, if this is a close game, if this is a clutch game, we've seen Jordan Love wilt in those games in moments, right? Usually when we look at the end of the season and we look at the interception total, we go, interception total's not that bad. But when you look at the games that they come from, the moments in those games, there's a lot of those times where it's in the biggest moment of the game. When it comes to clutch factor right now, in a close game, I would say that advantage this season, I'm not saying forever, is right now in the Chicago Bears' favor with what you've seen from Caleb in the fourth quarter and with what we've seen from this defense being able to take the football away.
All right, I'm going to let you know, too, the weather's going to affect both teams.
100%.
It doesn't just affect the Bears. It's going to affect the Green Bay Packers, too. It'll affect receivers. Receivers don't like catching cold footballs. If it's going to be 15 to 10 degrees up there, nobody's going to be overjoyed and thrilled with that.
Yeah.
But you still got to find a way to perform. I always say keep the body core and the temperature exactly where you need to keep it, and that's 98.6 degrees. So whatever you need to get or whatever you need to wear to get that to where it is, do it. So if you're a wide receiver and you've got to put sleeves on, put your sleeves on. There's no bravery.
We frown on that.
There's nothing. I remember watching the Raiders come out bare armed and me laughing at them.
Trying to look tough.
Meanwhile, I had a bicycle. I had a hind bicycle suit that went from my wrists all the way down to my ankles, covered my whole body, and then had a long sleeve shirt on.
Wait a minute. Did you have the over part? That
No, I
came
didn't
over
have
the
the
head?
over part. I didn't look like Frozone.
That would have been great. That's what I was hoping for.
I didn't look like Frozone from Mr. Incredible.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Or The Incredibles.
The
That's what it was.
yeah.
No, I didn't have that. Just had it, went around the neck, and boom. You could see a little bit of it in that game. It was 0 degrees outside, minus 20 with the wind chill. And I had Vaseline on my toes, and every time I put them in the heater, it'd get that Vaseline hot. And by the time I got back on the field, it kept me warm the whole time, just enough to where we got off the field, and I got to put my feet back into the heater again.
Here's
So you got to be smart. You got to be smart playing in cold weather.
Yeah.
To me, guys that go out there in their bear skin, if that's what you want to do and you want to punish yourself, feel free. Go ahead. You're a tough guy. Congratulations. Me, I want my body temperature as close to 98.6 as it can possibly be. I'm going to be comfortable all day. That way I can function at my highest level, period. So whatever each individual needs, if you go out there bare arm, good for you. If you don't, I don't care.
Good kid. Here's what always throws me on you go out there bare arm to prove you're as tough in the cold as the team that plays in the cold. When they then go put a coat on the sideline, it's like you could have just wore sleeves.
Yeah.
You could have been warm today. Now, I get it if it's the culture of your team. J-Mac has said, guys would go out there and try and wear sleeves when he was on the team, and Olin Kreutz would rip the sleeves down and say, go in there and take that undershirt off and come back out. That's the culture that you set. That's a different thing. Sometimes it is, though, like, I'm trying to be tougher. I'm proving I'm tough out here.
Yeah.
And then you're freezing and you have a terrible game.
Listen, it's different strokes for different folks. Some guys are going to do things no matter what, and other people are smarter. It's okay.
And other people are
and other
smarter.
people are just smarter.
What a great line.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, that's like going out there and saying, oh, you got to wear 7 studs. Hey, that day I wore turf shoes.
Yeah.
On the field. I had the best traction of the whole, of everybody out there. My traction was the best. Why? Because I went out there with a number of different pairs of shoes. I went through full speed activities and found that these triple cone turf shoes that we wear in the rain were good for a frozen field in the end of December in Lambeau Field. So you go out and you test it and you find out what's best for you.
Yeah.
Sterling went with 3/4 7 studs, right? Okay, that's for him.
Right.
He was playing out on the perimeter where the heating coils in the old Lambeau Field, they weren't, the heating coils went out to a certain spot, and that kind of helped him with the field a little bit, get a little bit of penetration with those 3/4 studs.
Right.
That's what he felt he could operate the best in. So whatever each individual goes out and tests their shoes, boom, but bring your other pair out. Just in case your synopsis was wrong, they'll bring another pair of shoes out. That way, if you got to find a way to play better, you play better with another pair of shoes on. That's fine. But you got to go test it out. I had the best traction of anybody out there.
How'd you play
I was
in that
flying
game?
around. 2.5 sacks, 9 tackles.
Oh, my God. Look good.
Are you kidding me? It's the only double-digit sack day I ever had in my life. I actually had 3.5 sacks, but they said there was a forward pass. I stripped it out of the quarterback's hand. They didn't give it to me. I'm like, come on.
Wait, so they gave you the fumble but not the sack?
No.
They said incomplete.
Called it an incomplete pass. It's ridiculous.
Bastages.
And that was Hostetler. And then Vince Evans, after we knocked Hostetler out of the game, we sacked him 8 times that day. I had 2.5. Reggie White had 2.5. Tony Bennett had 2.5. And Bryce Pop had 0.5. We're getting after him.
It's a good day.
Well,
that's a pretty good day.
That was the birth of Lambeau Leap up there, too. December 26, 1993, yeah. That's when Reggie forced the fumble, flipped it back to Leroy. Leroy took it all the way in, even though Reggie's foot was out of bounds. No instant replay back in the day.
That's the makeup for your strip sack call.
Yeah.
That was the makeup call.
Yeah. And then I'm hugging Leroy while I'm freezing my ass off on the field.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. You told that story on the air once when I was still working construction.
Yeah.
Went to work the next day, Vaselined up the foot.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Put the sock on, threw the boot on because we had a heater that we
That's
could
all you got to
stick our
do.
foot near.
Just put your foot near the heater.
Works.
It warms up the Vaseline.
Yeah.
And then keeps your foot warm for a while.
Yeah.
Now, eventually,
It cools off.
right.
It cools off.
And then you're going to have to get back to the heater, but at least you can work in inclement temperatures. Now, I'm assuming you're a union guy. At some point, the temperature gets to a certain area where you guys just say, hey, we're calling it today.
Yeah.
It gets cold enough to where you're not operating safely enough because whatever materials you work with sometimes, you get below freezing, you can still work in certain areas. But when you get to 0 degrees, working in 0 degree temperatures don't make any sense.
Hey, good kid. Let's just say I'm a union guy now. I've been a union guy before. At one company, I was not a union guy, and
they worked you like
was definitely out there during the polar vortex. You know what I mean? It was, my foreman told me. He said, listen, we have to be on site because if we're not, they'll bring somebody else in, yada 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 stuff. He said, go out there, turn the wrench one time, get back in here. Run out there, you turn one bolt, and you run right back inside in the trailer. So I've been out in some cold weathers out there. I played some cold weather games.
Your roof's got more layers than the Conspiracy Podcast.
Is that a sandwich wrapper?
Ah, yes. Vintage 1988. It really builds character.
Avondale Roofing. Inspect smarter, dig deeper, and get to the core of your roof's health.
My third advantage that I think the Bears come into this game with, and I would love to hear your opinion on this, especially with the changes that they've made there. Jurko, can we say that the Chicago Bears have the best offensive line in football?
I can see. I think you can say they have one of the best offensive.
One of the best? You're not at the top yet?
One of the best 5.
I feel like that is a force that will help the run game. Is going to have to help the pass game. I think there's going to have to be some tight end chipping because I would assume Micah lines up against Ozzie Trapillo probably a good chunk of this game here. But I think this offensive line that you're going to war with can make up for a lot of the deficiencies that we see around right now. The passing game, as Ben Johnson has brought up, and will continue to help that run game be dominant this week.
I'll tell you, the wind affects the passing game more than the cold does. So the wind that they had, they had in Philadelphia,
it was crazy.
Made passing the ball very difficult. So if you've got a cold day up there, but you don't have a ton of wind, I think you're going to have a fine passing day.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be that problematic. So hopefully the quarterback and the receivers, they can all get on the same page, and good things are going to happen for the Bears.
What have you seen from the passing
Bears,
game?
I think the Bears, they offer legitimate challenges to what what Green Bay's been able to do defensively. They offer legitimate challenges, and it's going to be they're going to try to knock the living H out of each other.
Yeah.
You talked about offensive lines. Indianapolis has still got a great offensive line. The Denver Broncos.
I like Denver's.
They got themselves a nice offensive line.
Yeah.
The Bears got a nice offensive
Philly, too.
line.
Philly still has. They've a little banged up, but Philly still got a nice.
and they're not doing what they did with Saquon
No,
last year.
not at all.
And Saquon's not doing what Saquon did last year. So Philly,
But pay them.
they're okay. They're okay. I would say they've dropped down to like the 11th offense in the league. Other teams are just playing a little bit better than they are.
Yeah.
Carolina's got a pretty good offensive line. People don't give it a ton of credit.
Carolina's got a – Jurko, maybe I'm the only one that sees it. I would assume not. I feel like the trenches are the only reason they're 7-6. I don't think Bryce is this phenomenal quarterback. I think that they had that game versus the Packers, and I think that's a game that the Bears need to be watching heavily. How that O-line handled Micah Parsons and allowed Rico Dowdle to run that football that day. Mm-hmm. It destroyed them. And I think it's a lot of what you said, and I'll ask you this. When you're doing everything right and it's not good enough, how hard is that to overcome? Because that's what it looked like the Packers were doing that day.
They were doing things correctly, but it was still they were getting gashed.
Yeah.
And whether it's Rico Dowdle, which it has been, Chuba Hubbard got hurt.
Chuba Hubbard has been hurt, yeah.
And Chuba had himself a game last week
Yep.
where he came back not only via the run but also via the pass. So they got a nice little 1-2 combination. But when you're doing things right and they're still gaining yards on you, it's a little bit frustrating, and it can be frustrating. Again, I think the limited amount of possessions that each team is going to have is going to put pressure on you to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And it's going to put pressure on you to be able to get the ball into the end zone. The team that can get into the end zone is going to be the team that's going to be in better shape than the team that has to settle for field goals or has to get off the field because they can't convert on third down.
Yeah.
So, and if you look, their third down defense is an area that they've got a little bit of trouble in. Yeah. They give up some first downs. So that might be an area. And they also don't take the football away.
Yeah.
And we don't turn the ball over. We don't fumble the ball. We don't put the ball on the carpet. Every once in a while, we make a bad decision at the quarterback, and you throw the ball into the other team's hands. But for the most part,
throwing a screen pass on 3rd and 6 or whatever that was.
Yeah, if you could have got the ball to the running back, you had a chance. Yeah. But unfortunately, the defensive lineman was in the way.
Great play.
Yeah.
Great play.
So, but, between lack of turnovers, and I mean, for everything they do, via the pressure on the quarterback and the sack, they're 11th in sacks in the NFL, with their main guy having 12.5. But they only have like 34 or 35 sacks.
Right. It's very much led.
Or like 30.
Micah led.
32 sacks. Yeah. So it's not like they're lighting the world on fire. The number one team is the Denver Broncos with 51 sacks.
Yes.
They're getting after the quarterback. 51 sacks means you're averaging 4 sacks a week,
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing one hell of a job getting to the quarterback. So that's sacking the guy. And then also all the pressures that you get where you don't get the sacks. So their pressure rate's got to be something that's absolutely outlandish. Your problem is that you can't get to the quarterback without bringing a blitz. And even last week against Philadelphia, you brought the blitz and you couldn't get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's your problem.
You haven't seen it enough, and you've seen it's been very much one guy, right? You've got
they threw the long ball last week,
100%,
and Watson came down with a catch or two. That's the one thing we're hopefully going to be able to compete for the football. Last week, A.J. Brown caught 2 touchdown passes. The one was underthrown. He's catching underthrown balls because we're not getting our head around
on that one. Yeah,
though you're going, and you've got to see the football, and you've got to be able to adjust to the football. I think even though the Bears lead in interceptions, they still have a small issue locating the football on long balls or longer balls that's not allowing them to be able to make plays.
Yeah.
So maybe that's if there's one thing they can work on, that'd be the thing they work on. Hopefully they work on it this week.
Hopefully having Jalen back will help with that too. 2 weeks in a row having Jalen Johnson back.
I mean,
it's been one guy that's been getting picked on essentially on that. It's Nashawn Wright. T. Higgins took advantage of him. A.J. Brown takes advantage of him.
And I mean, Nashawn Wright.
Tyreek gets beat on the line.
Well, Tyreek hasn't played the last couple of days. But, Nashawn Wright at least has been able to intercept the ball.
Yes.
Get his hands on the football, score points, strip the ball. So he's been a productive player, even though sometimes he ends up getting victimized.
Possibly a Trayvon Diggs type player. A guy who you can beat him over the top. You could throw the long ball on him, but he's a guy that can take the football away from him.
But he's not getting beat way over the top. He's getting beat because he's not locating the football.
Right. He is usually
in
the right spot.
He's close.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah.
But because he can't see the football, guys are adjusting on him and making plays. So, and T. Higgins' play where he came up over the top.
Crazy.
That was one hell of a catch. That's where you got good coverage, and it does make a difference because the receiver, found the football. But those are the guys that give him trouble.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that he's got to work on to make himself better. But Jalen Johnson's going to be there, and after being beat early, Jalen Johnson responded.
Locked in.
Yeah.
Locked in.
Got beat early where he kind of looked like a fool on one play. Yeah. But after that, he was locked in for the rest of the game, so he's fine.
It felt very much like it turned into don't throw Jalen's way, which is what we saw from Jalen years previously. So very excited to see that. We'll see what this Bears team ends up doing here in Green Bay. We got to continue to talk about that here on the other side. But we do got to get to our underdog play. Courtney going with higher than 190.5 Caleb Williams passing yards.
Oh, boy. After last week, that's what she wants to do, huh?
Rough last week. Rough last week. Not the good kid, just a little disappointment right now.
Well, if it hits, nobody's going to be disappointed. Put it that way. I'll go with Jordan Love interception.
Oh, you think Jordan Love gets an interception this week?
Plus 324. I like it. Or 3.24, however you say it.
3.24 times.
Yeah, times X, 3.24 X.
Higher than 0.5 interception.
Jordan Love interception, so I can't wait for it to happen.
Is it a cluch one? Is it a clutch one like we've seen him do?
I hope so.
End of game sealing one.
We haven't talked about Green Bay's running game at all.
We have not. Josh Jacobs having a year.
Yeah, well, he's having a solid year, but the kid that came in, Wilson, when he was hurt, Wilson came in, they didn't skip a beat either.
Yeah.
So, Josh Jacobs this, we're paying him a ton of money. Your backup came in there, was a productive running back. So.
And might speak to the offensive line. Good kid. Yeah. This has 110% been the year. Last year, everybody was chesty because me and you have the same opinion on running backs, right? You build the offensive line, the running back comes in, you get the job done. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as the O-line is good. You can look Last year, everybody's like, well, look at Saquon, look at Henry, look at it. And I'm like, well, it's still the O-line, guys. They're giving them 4 yards before contact, but it's come down to earth in a drastic way this season.
He was 5.8 yards per rush last year, and he's 3.7 this year, Saquon Barkley. Derrick Henry had a problem fumbling early on. Cost the Baltimore Ravens a lot of game. Might cost them the playoffs.
Yeah, possibly.
So, you don't know yet what's going to happen in that AFC North. It's a very goofy little North.
I had a steak on the line for
going
that.
on. What's that?
I got a steak dinner on the line for that.
Do you?
When the Ravens were 1-5.
Do you have the Bengals?
I said the Ravens would come back and win the division over the Steelers. The guy I made the play with was a Steelers fan. He's like, there's no way we lose. And I was like, I've watched Steelers football over the last 5 years, buddy.
And the Steelers were 4-2 at the time.
Yeah. Yes. And they won that night, so they were 5-2 at the time.
Oh no, I remember.
Yeah. It was
You got to recognize their running game a little bit too. So I'm going to recognize their game. Listen, people say Grady Jarrett's a disappointment for how much money they pay him. He might be a financial disappointment, but when Grady Jarrett is in there, I feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I think Billings is playing a little bit better now. Jervin, I still try to figure out what Jervin does sometimes, but he's got 4 sacks on the year. He's out there. When things go well,
the pressure's gotten better.
I see him cheering. So, I mean, at least he's out there. I know he can cheer. And Montez, I guess, has been more productive statistically. Hopefully they play a solid team defense. And they've been able to get off the football field. They've got to be able to do that this week again. Get off the football field.
Yeah, you get off the football field. You do that by taking that football away from Jordan Love.
And the Packers got a great fan base. But if things don't go well up there,
they'll turn on them.
The way Philadelphia turned on them, I don't know if Green Bay will turn that much.
They won't boo.
But you'll hear some silence.
Yeah.
It can get quiet in there, Quiet as a church mouse in there when things aren't going well for them. I don't know if they turn on them and boo. I got booed one time in there. We were down 17-something at halftime, 17-3 against the Rams.
Yeah.
We were coming in. Oh, we got booed.
Did you win that game?
We got booed. We came back and
made it competitive.
Isaac Bruce's rookie or second year, he blocked a punt. They took it into the end zone, which was part of the 17-3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how long ago it was. But we got booed, and we deserved to get booed because we were playing like crap. And when you play like crap, you get booed. That's how it works.
Philly went after him. I love it. We made Santa Claus leave. That's got to be a highlight of the season. You made Santa leave.
You made one Santa leave. You made one Santa leave.
Yeah.
The Grinch never left.
The Grinch was there.
And then there was a Mama Claus and Santa Claus. Santa and Mrs. Claus were there, an older couple. And when they saw everybody leaving early, they said, we're going to stick around the whole time.
You got no choice.
Maybe stay another 20 minutes. We'll make our way.
Let that parking lot clear
Let
up.
everybody get the hell out of Dodge. That way when we get to our car, we got ourselves a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Because you're waiting, and maybe you even get to the car and have a cold one at the car.
That's always a good time.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
And wait and be patient, and then finally get out of there. Because there's no reason to try to get out if everybody's leaving at the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Everybody's heading for the dorm. No, you're going to.
You might as well finish the game, get your money's worth.
Finish the game. You got the beautiful Santa outfit on, you and the wife. Wave to everybody, have a good time. So, while there were a handful of Santas that took off, probably trying to find the nearest pub where they can drown their sorrows.
What do you do if you walk around downtown Philly and Santa's drunk in the at the bar after a Bears win?
Say hello.
Say hello.
I'm feeling it. I mean, they're still got a great record. I mean,
yeah. That's how it goes. You've lost 4 times this year. It's the worst team I've ever seen.
I don't know if Dallas is going to catch them, but high hopes. Obviously, Friday standalone game.
Yeah, and
you came out and you played that way. So.
Yeah, you were hoping to see a little bit more from it.
We'll see if Philly gets a bounce back this week.
This is the greatest underdog ad read of all time. Download the app today, sign in with the promo code CBP, score $100 in bonus entries when your first $5 bet wins. That's promo code CBP. Underdog, make picks, win money. EO, cue the disclaimer. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or over in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Welcome back to Chicago Bears podcast. Pat the Designer, John Jurkovic in the building. All right, good kid. You brought up the run game and kind of what we see from this defensive line. I want to touch on that before we get to this final topic. What would you rather game? What have you personally seen out of young Austin Booker? It feels like the Bears may have found something on that opposite edge of Montez Sweat where he's not getting the great sack numbers yet, but you continue to see him produce with the pressures and being around the quarterback.
I'd like to see 20 more pounds on him. That's what I'd like to see.
I think Dennis Allen, too.
I'd like that, you can get away with guile and quickness and, kind of eluding stuff. At some point, you're going to have to anchor your ass down and take a guy on, chest, middle to middle.
Yeah.
Midline to midline. And when he can do that, I think that he's got a legitimate shot of being a guy that can play 3 downs for you. Right now, he's doing a little bit with smoke and mirrors. And it's not a bad way to do it if you can keep doing it. I mean, the shortest distance between 2 points is an unencumbered straight line.
Yeah.
So if you got something you can get out of the way of something and get back in and make plays, then that's absolutely fantastic. I think he needs to continue to develop. I think he needs to continue to develop his pass rush moves.
Yeah.
Being a half a second short is not like being there on time and making things happen.
Right.
So I think he's still young. I think he's still developing. I hope somebody's telling him what his shortcomings are and what he needs to work on. But a little more heft in the keister might not be so bad.
No, if he could find a way to bulk up, I think that's really all DA's looking for. The one thing I will say about him with the smoke and mirrors, it's almost like he uses the smoke and mirrors. Then every now and then he just goes, all right, now I'm going to go through you, and you're expecting the smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Hey, you've seen a couple of guys get caught off guard and get pushed
we've
over.
seen it once, that's for sure. When he went against Orlando Brown Jr.
He did it there.
He did it there, and guess what that did? Sent the alarm waves to everybody that, hey, you got to be able to know that he's capable of that.
Yeah.
And so they sit on it until they see something else. So they'll sit on that.
Right.
They won't.
They're not going to get budged as much anymore, you don't
Yeah,
think?
they ain't going to go do it until you show them something else. Like you put that in and then you got something off of that, right?
Yeah.
You plant the left hand, they hunker down, and then you come back up over the top. You anchor it. Maybe you knock the hand down, spin through, something. But it's a great play, but you can't do that
Yeah.
32 times a game.
You got to be able to add to the
You
arsenal.
can't just go over the top. You got to have a little bit more of an arsenal.
Yeah.
Most of these guys knock the hands down, they dip the shoulder, they get by the guy, the big oaf of a guy. They do that. They're not going through a guy because you can't do that 32 times. You can do that 5 times, 6 times a game. The other 26 times, you got to have something else. And then just running around the outside and doing a big loop, it doesn't do it either.
Yeah, you didn't get to him.
Steps up, yeah. That doesn't if anything, now they can go out the left side and buy themselves some time. So
You got to have that. Who was Julius Peppers would use that, but he had the reach to like just reach in there and grab a quarterback trying to run away.
Yeah.
I just remember him doing that. Just be like, you're going nowhere, buddy.
when they put the rule where you can't grab the back of the collar,
yeah.
that kind of started
Yeah,
to
it slowed
minimize
it
that
down.
too. So that became a problem. So, yeah, no, I liked the kid. He came back. I thought he popped, during the preseason. He's the only guy that was really rushing the passer. Of course, they didn't play their starters anyway.
Yeah.
So how would we know what anybody else was capable of? But he was the one guy that can get to the quarterback. Then he gets hurt. Then they bring him back, and then the first play that he gets in, he does a sack and a fumble, and the Bears recovered the fumble. And now he's been okay. Like I said, he's doing a little dipping. He's doing a little diving.
Yeah.
He's doing this. He's getting out of the way, and he's finding a way to make a couple of plays, which is a good thing.
He's been able to create pressure. Do you value the pressure more than the sack, right? Or are you more?
Well, no. You got to have the pressure, and then the sacks result from pressure.
Right.
And I think the sacks really result from situations where they have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Like
You see that a lot.
going into halftime, going into the end of a football game.
Yeah.
You see that guys have a chance to get sacks. That's when they have a chance to get sacks. Team's down by 2 touchdowns, they got to throw.
Micah last week.
Pin your ears back, and you ain't got to worry about nothing else.
Yeah, I thought that really exposed, and that's the kind of game I don't want the Bears to get into, where you got to drop back and throw it because you're down, because that's when Micah Parsons becomes the great pass rusher he is.
Look at over the course, 1st and 10 plays. Mm-hmm. It's the least amount of times that a quarterback ends up getting sacked in the NFL, 1st and 10. Look at 2nd and 8 plus. 2nd and 8 plus. It'll be the second time.
Right.
Then you get 3rd and 7 plus, or even 3rd and 5 plus. You go down to 4 plus. Most teams aren't going to run the ball with 4 yards to go.
Right.
3rd and 4 plus.
You got to be a team that is going for it on 4.
That'll be your number one spot of where sacks come.
Right.
3rd and 4 plus. Because why? They're not going to run the ball. They're going to come out. He's going to be in the shotgun. We're going to pin our ear back, and we're going to go after him. They'll run a draw once out of every 10 plays. Keep you honest. Maybe run a screen pass. But the screen is still a pass.
Yeah.
To, try to slow you down. So that's when the sacks come. So, if you're only getting 4 sacks a game, 17 to 68 sacks on the season, you look, the last 5 minutes of the first half, the last 6 minutes of the second half. That's where, if you plot the graph,
you'll see most of the numbers.
You'll see a concentration of color there, and then you'll see independent dots before that and before that.
Yeah.
Any sack before those times are bonus sacks. You know, if you're a player, you're like, man, look at that. Was
Or your
bonus
Myles
guy.
Garrett. or your Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
You're a risk to sack the quarterback every play.
Right, yeah.
Let's play a little Would You Rather here, Jurko, to finish it out. EO brought this topic up. I thought this was a very interesting one. With the coach and quarterback right now going into this matchup, would you rather have LaFleur and Love or Johnson and Williams
I'd rather have LaFleur and Love.
going into this matchup?
The quarterback's more established.
You like what you've seen out of Jay
Yeah.
Love and
He's
and
got
his
more
working
games, more
relationship. Yeah.
experience. They've had more success up there between the two of them, and because of the experience and the comfortability they have between the two of them, I'd rather be them. Doesn't mean I don't like the combination we have in Chicago, but you asked me one or the other, so that was LaFleur and Jordan Love.
Okay, I'm not mad. I feel like
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have to be mad. You could be mad.
No. I
mean, it doesn't make a difference.
I'm trying to think if this is a hot take. This may be a hot take. Because of everything that's happening in Green Bay with the rules and everything they have going on, the president has to step down after they turn 70, I think it is. The president of the team has to step down once he turns 70. That's happening this year. There's a changing of the guard coming in. I think if the Bears go in there and Ben Johnson goes in there and handles business, we may see Matt LaFleur moved on from in Green Bay.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if the president has much to say about anything. Bob Harlan was the president up there. Ron Wolf ran the Packers. He ran the football side. Harlan ran the business side.
Right.
Mark Murphy has been up there. Mark Murphy's the guy that runs the business side. He's not the general manager.
Right.
Gutekunst is the general manager. He and LaFleur run the football side.
Right.
So if a new president comes in, the president runs the he runs the business side of everything. And the football side stays with the general manager and stays with the head coach. So
You don't think a new president would want his guys in there? Or?
absolutely not. That's not the way.
That's not how the Packers do
That's
it.
not the way they function. It's not the way they do it.
So there's a lot of Green Bay fans
They've
worried for
hired
nothing.
their football guy. They've hired their football guy.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Anybody that thinks LaFleur's doing a bad job up there has lost their, effing mind. I don't know what the hell's wrong.
You know what
with
it
them.
is? You haven't suffered.
Hey,
You haven't
right.
suffered. That's what that tells me.
I understand Pittsburgh after such a long period of time. Pittsburgh fans being a little bit frustrated.
Yeah.
They've never solved their quarterback problem after Roethlisberger left.
At all.
They never have.
And you've gone with piecemeal pieces.
And they've gone
you
with
drafted
they've
two
drafted
guys, yeah.
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
They've drafted this guy.
Yeah.
They've drafted this guy. You haven't gotten it right, and because you haven't gotten it right, you've had to try to figure out what the hell you were going to do, at quarterback. And they've tried anything and everything, saying, "Hey, we need this. This is all we need." They need a Ben Roethlisberger-like quarterback to be able to come in there and take them to whatever level they're going to go.
Right.
The longer they ignore the quarterback position, the longer they're going to suffer. If I'm Tomlin, I'm like, you want to get rid of me? Fine. Thank you. For the love of God, get rid of me and let me go someplace else. And I'm going to go someplace that has a quarterback. That way I ain't got to worry about the quarterback play.
Yeah.
So they might be coming to a point now. Tomlin been there 20 years?
Yes.
If they finish,
Tomlin 05 first year? Yeah, I think 20 years literally.
yeah, if they finish 9-8, it'll still be him never having a losing season, but getting fired because they've had too many 9-8, 8-8 seasons.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
He might be happy.
I got a couple of friends who are Packer fans, and they just go, "What is Matt LaFleur really winning us? I don't know. Like he can get you to the playoffs, but he can't get you any further. Loses in the first round." I'm like,
The risk you
you're
run.
not wrong, but you're winning like 11 games a year almost.
The risk you run. I mean, listen, Holmgren got up there. We finished 9-7. Didn't go to the playoffs. We finished 9-7. Went to the playoffs. We won a game. Then we lost a game. 9-7 again. Went to the playoffs. Won a game. Lost a game. In 95, we go to the playoffs. Win a game against Atlanta. We go out to Frisco. Win a game. Go down to Dallas in the NFC Championship game. We lost the game. So what was Mike Holmgren doing? Mike Holmgren was making the playoffs and he was losing games, right? Yeah, you won, but you lost. And the last time you lost in the NFC Championship game. So maybe one can argue that he's making headway. The quarterback was finally there. Either way, they went to the Super Bowl the next 2 years.
Right.
They won the first year. They lost to
lose
the
the
Denver
second.
Broncos in the second year. Then after that, they fire Mike Holmgren because he and Ron Wolf don't see eye to eye.
Right.
Not because Mike Holmgren wasn't a good coach, but because Mike Holmgren got tired of seeing the guys that he liked walk out the door because Ron Wolf didn't like him. And so at some point, Mike said, you know what? Screw this. The guys I trust and I want to keep, I got to play with his guys. He's bringing these guys in. I don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Then Homer goes Seattle.
And then you get into meetings, and Ron would just basically say, Terrell Buckley, when he first came, was guessing and doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then he come to meetings, he goes, I don't want to hear about Terrell Buckley. He goes, let's talk about everybody else. Because they would analyze the play and say he's guessing. He's not playing the defense the way it needs to be played. They were just breaking it down.
Not telling the truth.
Yeah. The papers want to blame Mark Pryor, but Mark Pryor's not. He's playing deep middle.
Right.
He's not deep as the deepest on the left side when Fred Barnett just walks by you because you saw a butterfly in front of you, which is like a running back coming out of the backfield, and you decided to cheat and you wanted to come up. Now, Terrell Buckley turned out to be one hell of a football player. He was a good football player with the Packers as he went on and had more experience, got out of his rookie year, and as the game slowed down, he started to recognize a lot of things. He went to Miami and was a great corner.
Right.
He's a fantastic corner for them. I think he finished with 40-some-odd interceptions in his career, 47, 48. You don't do that if you're not a pretty damn good corner.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of success down there. But early on in his rookie year, there were problems. And, we kind of had to overcome and compensate for some of the problems that Terrell had at the corner position. And that's just the way it works sometimes. That's how it goes.
It takes time.
They're going to play a guy. The GM wants him out there. The defense coordinator and the coach don't necessarily want him out there, but because the GM drafted him in the first round, you got to play him.
So that's how.
And that's fine. And eventually he became a great player.
Yeah.
But when he had to get paid, somebody else paid him. The Packers didn't pay him.
That's how it moves in Green Bay. So there's you don't think there's any world where
LaFleur gets fired? No.
LaFleur's fired at the end of this season. In
Absolutely
any
not. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to try to make noise in the playoffs. Yeah. There's a possibility they get the number one.
100%. If they win this game and the Rams lose,
yeah,
they could get the number one seed. So.
Yeah. And that tie might come down ultimately to be of advantage.
Yeah.
But when I started this whole thing about the Bears making the playoffs, 2 weeks ago, I said I'd rather lose the Philly and take 2 from Green Bay if I could.
Than beat Green Bay.
Right, if I had a choice. But now we've beat Philly. Let's take this one from Green Bay. Take the first one. I'm not worried about the second one. Let's take the first one from Green Bay, come back against Cleveland and outclass Cleveland. So I'll just outclass them.
Yeah.
Win that one. It gets us to 10-11. Now you're at 11-3.
Right.
Teams start to beat themselves up. Teams start to lose. Like we would then be, what is that? 5-2. We'd be 6-2 or 7-2 in the conference. Now you've established yourself in the conference where you're going to win all these types of crazy things. So, but that's it. Win this one. Beat Cleveland, then you get Green Bay at home in front of a crazy crowd. In front of a crowd that it's going to be nuts.
You get Green Bay at home and you win this game.
Yeah.
Jurko, you might have a chance to beat Green Bay 3 times in 2025.
Yeah.
Has that ever been done before? Could this be the first time had to have been done
That the Bears
before?
have done it? I know.
The Bears have done well, no, because
the
season didn't used to go this long.
I know it's been done in the NFL before.
3 times in
where
1 year.
A team is beaten 3 times in one calendar year. So going from January 1st
previous season
to December 31st. Yes. Matter of fact, one team played the other team 5 times, twice in the playoffs, 3 times in the regular season. Which team was it?
Twice.
Which 2 teams were they? They played 5 times in the calendar year, from January 1st to December 31st.
Older team?
Well, I mean, it's older from
like back in the day.
It happened when I was playing football.
While you were playing football.
That's why I remember it.
Give me. I'm trying to think what 2 teams would have been good in the same division. I was just saying, is Broncos Steelers? Maybe?
I would stick with the NFC North.
AFC North.
NFC North.
Oh, NFC North. Was it Packers Lions?
It is Packers Lions. Ding, 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 ding. So the question is, when did it happen, right?
When did it happen?
It happened in 1993 when there were 2 bye weeks. The one year they had 2 bye weeks, it happened in 1993. So on January 2nd, is that right? Yeah, I think it's January 2nd. On January 2nd of 1994, right, after the 93 year, the Detroit Lions beat the Green Bay Packers in Detroit. They went and played them the next week, January 8th on Saturday. They won. The Packers beat the Detroit Lions in a playoff game 28-24. Then in the next season, they came back and played during the regular season.
Yeah.
So in 1994,
So they play them twice in the regular season.
In November 6th, the Packers won. They played them again week 14, Sunday, December 4th. They lost to the Detroit Lions at Detroit. And then they played at home on December 31st in the wild card round of 1994, where they beat
And the Packers beat
Packers beat the Detroit Lions 16-12. And there you go. And that's how you have it. You've got 5 times
in a year.
It's got 2 teams matched up. It's the only time it's ever happened in the NFL that they've played 5 times in 1 year, and that's the way it ended up happening.
When you say it, it feels like mathematically.
It feels so normal.
Right.
It feels like impossible.
Yeah.
But literally, it was January 2nd, regular season.
Playoff.
January 8th is a playoff.
Right.
2 regular season games in 94.
Right.
And then the wild card round, we happened to play on the 31st. And because it was on the 31st, that's how you get 5 games in
What
one
was the
calendar
wild card
year.
round earlier that year?
We got rid of the whatchamacallit. You got rid of the bye weeks. There was only one bye that year.
There was only one bye that year.
And the season started September 4th.
Okay.
Sunday, September 4th.
That does feel wrong.
Yeah. So that year they started before Labor Day. It wasn't until after that they started the league after Labor Day.
Right.
This started
Before Labor Day.
September 5th was Labor Day. So that's how you ended up having it.
That's a real rivalry. That's a beef right there. I play you 5 times in a year.
Yeah.
I know everything about you. You know everything
And
about me.
They beat us. What did they beat us? We were 3-2. So they beat us twice in the regular season.
Right.
More than that. Yeah, twice in the regular season. We beat them once, but we won both playoff games.
You beat them once, and so they were beating their chest going into the playoff game, saying we can do it again.
Yeah.
And then you beat them the second time.
We beat them both playoff games. I mean, that's the fun that you've got to have every once in a while.
Oh boy, what a time!
and
Do the Bears get a win this Sunday?
I think the Bears win.
Ooh.
Now, it's not going to be outlandish. It's going to be 2017.
It's a division game.
20-17.
Yeah. And that's a good win.
Yeah.
That's a good division win.
Yep. It's going to be hard fought.
Like, you
There's
got to
go-
be tougher. And
there's
they
gonna
showed
be
you
ups and
last
downs.
week. They can be a physical
Ups and
team.
downs. There's going to be ups and downs, guys.
Let's hope this Bears team finds a way to put the Green Bay Packers away. I don't care how it happens. And dare I say, to make the underdog play work, they're a good kid. A Nashawn Wright, league-leading interception, or it would be a league-tying interception with Kevin Byard to put the game away on Jordan Love.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
And it's ball game, baby. It's ball game.
That'd be good.
Let's go for that. I'll be excited. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. Would you rather have LaFleur and Love or Ben and Caleb? Give me Ben and Caleb all day. I get the established, but I told y'all last week, give me Ben Johnson over a lot of coaches in this NFL. That includes Nick Sirianni. Shay, where you at? Y'all stay safe out of Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.